Hey everybody, Moarhammer here. I've got another battle report for you, and this is another really good one. It's 2,000 points of my Khorne against Flesh Eater Chords, and it marks the eponymous return of my Bloodthirster Lord Tremendous. I'm also trying out something slightly different for the army breakdown this time, so let me know what you think. First, we have a Bloodthirster of Unfettered Fury, Lord Tremendous, making his return to the game. Named for my favourite YouTube battle reporter. And this guy is sporting a Chaos Rune Blade. Then we've got a Bloodstoker. I love them. The extra move to the charge is just fantastic, and he really is a great supporting role. And he also, the reroll of 1s to wounds really helps on the Demon Blade wielding Skull Reapers. Then we've got 2 units of 10 Blood Reavers. They just to fill out battle line in this game, unfortunately. Then we move over to the Blood-Marked Warband, at the helm of which is Valeroth, Taker of Spines. He's my general, he's got the Lord of War command ability, and I pretty much just take him for his command ability of +1 attack. Then I've got my Slaughter Priest, Chuckles, who's always great, and this guy's sporting a Chaos Rune Blade for the extra attack. He's got 4 attacks base, which with damage to is pretty nice. Then I've got a Blood Secretor, King Kill, and this guy is just a staple of the list, whatever, doesn't matter. Then I've got other Chuckles, the other Slaughter Priest, who, again, I like Slaughter Priests, what can I say, they do seem to do a pretty decent amount of damage. Then I've got my unit of 10 Blood Warriors, the Bloodied Fisters, and I'm really enjoying using these guys. They always seem to do consistently well, so and also their battle line, so you're probably going to see them for a while yet. Then I've got unit 5 Wrathmongers, who are, again, always good. The fact that they can terrify big things and little things alike is really useful. I've got a Choreograph, Keith. He just does his thing. He's not great, but he's a cheap way of filling up that last bit of the battalion I needed to. And then I've got the Slaughter Cult, 2 units of 10 Skull Reapers, 10 of which have Gorelick blades and 10 of which have Demon blades, and they are great. So that's all the units in the Blood-Marked Warband. That formation is whenever a hero kills something in the combat phase, every unit within 16 units gets +1 attack, and if a hero dies, you can pick one other non-hero model to become a hero, get +1 attack, and separate from their units, which is pretty sweet. So here is a picture of deployment, and as you can see, he hasn't got a whole lot on the board at the moment. I'll get into that in a second. But on my side, starting on the far left, I've got 10 Blood Reavers. Then I've got a big blob of stuff at the front. The Blood Warriors, behind them are the Wrathmongers, as well as Valeroth. Then in that woods I've got my Skull Reapers, and the Slaughter Priest is kind of sitting just behind them with the Blood Secretor as well. Then moving on to the right in the middle, there's Lord Tremendous, there's my Bloodthirster, and he was just going to go wherever he's needed. Then I've got my Choreograph, and in those woods, that little woody thing, I've got a Bloodstoker, the Skull Reapers, and on the far right I've got my Blood Reavers. Just the only thing that will make a difference, I should probably mention it now, is that wood that my Choreograph and Bloodstoker are sitting on the right hand side, that is mystical. No spoilers there. So on his side, on the right, he's got his Ghoul King on Zombie Dragon, sitting in that wood. Then on the left, he's got a big unit of 9 Crypt Horrors, behind which are a Vampire Lord, a Ghoul King on foot, and a Vargulf, so quite a scary block of stuff there. We're playing Blood and Glory, mission number 2, where there are 4 objectives, and you need to have as many models as possible with no enemy models within range to capture them at the end of a turn. And if you hold all of them at the end of turn 3 or onwards, you automatically win a major victory. So, because I finished deploying first, because I only had a couple of drops, 2 or 3 or 4 drops, and he had slightly less, I choose him to go first. And I did forget to mention, the reason he's got so little on the board is he's got the Ghoul Patrol, which is a formation involving essentially what he's got in there: 60 ghouls, a 30, a 20, and a 10, and a Ghoul Courtier. So, we jump into his first turn, and he does this. So, as you can see on the right-hand flank there, he's got a big unit of 30 ghouls that came on, and that's why I put the Blood Reavers there, because if he was going to charge anything with that, it's fine if it's just 10 Blood Reavers. And then his other units, one comes off just behind the left-hand objective on his side, and on the right-hand objective as well, right at the back there. Other than that, his Vampire Dragon hops over to his right, and his Crypt Horrors just come charging straight down the middle. And they've got all manner of buffs on them, which makes them terrifying. So in the charge phase, he manages to roll the 9 he needs for the Crypt Horrors, so they come slamming into the Blood Reavers, and has absolutely no problem murdering them all, unsurprisingly. So I do end up, some of my units were just within range to pile in, so my Slaughter Priest, other Chuckles, piles in, does nothing though, and then my Skull Reapers also pile in. They'd kill 5, so not great, but I could only get a couple of them in, so not a big deal. So we jump into my turn, and I roll a 1 on the Mystical on my Skull Reapers. Oh, no! Which means I couldn't do anything with them, which means they're going to have to get attacked by a whole bunch of ghouls, which is rubbish. But hey-ho. I do move my Bloodthirster and Khorne across into the Mystical Train. A bit risky, but I kind of wanted my Bloodthirster on that side, because I think I need the help getting rid of that zombie dragon. On the left-hand side, I kind of just move everything forward a little bit apprehensively. I plant my banner, I buff the Blood Warriors as much as I can, and so there's a whole bunch of buffs going on there, which is ideal. In the charge phase, my Khorne does make it into the ghouls, just so I've got a little bit of attacking in there, because nothing else is going to happen. So I attack with my Khorne first. He kills like 1 or 2. He doesn't do very good. Very well even, and then he attacks back, kills 2 Skull Reapers and the Slaughter Priest, other Chuckles, which is rubbish. But because he is a character dying, I can choose a hero I choose a new hero, or I choose the Khorne because he's not a hero yet. Then he attacks. I think it was the Slaughter Priest that attacked first. Sorry, my bad. So he attacks, kills 3. Again, no big deal. That's that. So we go into the initiative roll-off, and he wins it, and he takes it, which is absolutely fine, because if I won it, I would give it to him. So, in fact, that may have been what happened. I think I won it and I gave it to him, because I wanted him to come at me right then and right there. Yeah, that's right, because I could have, yeah. So the issue there was that my Skull Reapers would still not be able to attack in his round, but on the left-hand side, I really needed to have the possibility of that double turn when those Crypt Horrors come in, so that's kind of my idea. He does the same thing again. He comes forward, he puts a whole bunch of buffs onto the Crypt Horrors. They were like re-rolling everything. They had Mystic Shield. They're just brutal things right there. And he also puts Feeding Frenzy on his Ghoul King, so he's got an extra attack. So, go to the charge phase. He comes slamming into the Khorne, no problem, and the Crypt Horrors here slam straight into the Blood Warriors. And this was going to be terrifying, but I had a plan, so kind of, anyway. He attacks with the Zombie Dragon first, which was very fortunate for me. And he does 4 wounds to it. He actually rolls really badly, which is very fortunate, so that's fantastic. So I attack with my Blood Warriors next, and here's kind of where I had my my tactics in place. So because they're within range of the Bloodscreed's banner and the Wrathmongers, and my Aspiring Deathbringer's command ability, and they also had Lord of War on them from last turn, they are hitting on 2s, and they're wounding on 4s, but they have 5 attacks apiece. The champion has 6 with a Gorglaive, which is hitting on 2s, wounding on 3s, rend 1, damage 2. So even though he's got a 4-up save from the Mystic Shield and a 5-up Deathless Minion save, I still bring down 2 of them, which is, again, could have done a lot better, but still more damage to come. So he attacks with them first, and as you might expect, he does brutalise them. Not completely, though. He doesn't kill the entire unit. He only kills 7 of them. And they both pile in and all attack around again, because when they die, they can pile in and attack, and they kill another 2. So really good going there. Then he attacks. Then I attack with my Khorne. Sorry, I just attack the ghouls. I kill 3 of them. It is what it is. No big deal. And then he piles in around my guys with his ghouls, and he's able to kill another 1 or 2 Skull Reapers. But it's nothing major. And when my Khorne does kill a ghoul, he does recover a wound. There is that, which is nice. So then Chuckles piles in. He comes in with his axe, and he's able to kill 1 and put 3 wounds onto another himself. So he actually does really well. Which also means that every unit within 16 inches gets +1 attack for this phase. So, because they were just within 3 inches, as I planned, the Wrathmongers come piling in. That did give him the extra attack in the combat phase, but now I've got these guys attacking too. So 5 down, Wrathmongers pile in, and they smash another 2 apart, which is fantastic. So yeah, after all that, I managed to kill 7 Crypt Horrors on the turn that he charged me. And he had the double turn, so we go into my turn. So there you go, that was kind of the idea. He hit me, and now it's my turn. First thing is first, obviously my Skull Reaper is now free of Mystical. I do roll again and I make it. But then I fail the Mystical with my Bloodthirster and the Bloodstoker, which was an absolute nightmare. I could not have failed that at the worst time. So my Bloodthirster is doing nothing this turn. Oh. But I move my the Skull Reapers on the left-hand side out of the woods towards the Crypt Horrors. I plant the banner again just to get the extra attacks that I need. I do try to blood boil the Crypt Horrors, but I don't make it, unfortunately. So we just pile into combat. They come slamming into the back here. I didn't make a very good charge with my Skull Reapers. I was hoping they might be able to get one of the characters at the far end, but they didn't make it. So the Crypt Horrors just get these guys in the rear as well. Lucky them. I do attack with my Skull Reapers first, and they kind of do what Skull Reapers should be doing the entire time. They murder a bunch of them, like 12 ghouls go down. It was brutal, which is absolutely fantastic for me. Then he attacks with his Crypt Horrors. He attacks the Skull Reapers, kills 3 of them, and the Deadly to the Last roll kicks in and does kill one of them back, which is good. But it doesn't matter. The Skull Reapers pile in, or I don't know who it was here. One of them piled in. Oh yes, it was the Skull Reapers. They pile in, kill the last Crypt Horror, but one of my remaining Skull Reapers does kill himself with his Demon Blade, so that was fun. Then he attacks with his remaining ghouls, kills 3 of the Skull Reapers, loses another 1 or 2 back to the attacks, to the Deadly to the Last, but that's not, so yeah, I've only got 1 Skull Reaper left now, and a bit of a dicey Battle Shock test. Then the Vampire Dragon, Zombie Dragon, has no problem killing the Kolgrath, which also means there's another hero dead. So I upgrade that 1 remaining Skull Reaper in with those ghouls to a hero. Yay! Gets an extra attack. So we jump into the initiative roll-off, and I win it, which was an absolutely fantastic point to win it. I don't roll a 1 for my mystical, for any of my mysticals. So my Bloodthirster charges straight towards that Zombie Dragon. I've got him whipped. I'm re-rolling from mystical, so I should have a pretty good chance here. I'm not going to be able to fail that charge, fortunately, because I'm 5 inches away. On the left-hand side, however, I do move some stuff around. I move as much as I can towards the characters. The Wrathmongers stay back. I know he's got the Ring of Immortality on his Zombie Dragon, so if I kill it, I don't want him popping up on that last objective, because that could mean he could win the game right there. So I didn't want to do that, so I left them back. Other than that, everyone just charges forward. In the shooting phase, the Bloodthirster brings up his whip and he smashes 4 wounds off the Zombie Dragon, which was lovely. And then he piles straight in. I actually managed to make a whole bunch of long charges over here as well. My Skull Reapers, Chuckles, and my Blood Reavers make it into targets. So I'm tying up the Vampire Lord, the Ghoul King, and then the ghouls at the back there. May not have been the best move charging the Blood Reavers in there, but yeah, why not? Why not? So I go with my Bloodthirster first, as you might expect, so I don't want his Zombie Dragon to eat me before I get a chance to attack. And boom! Oh, yes! It was so good. It was glorious. It was amazing. I loved it so much. Oh, I celebrated way too hard at this. I kill the Zombie Dragon in 1. It was fantastic. I was so happy. The Bloodthirster just slams into the side of it, chops the damn thing's head off. It was amazing. Well done. Then he attacks with his Vampire Lord, kills 2 Skull Reapers, and doesn't do much in return. So I decide to attack with my last remaining Skull Reaper before he goes down to the ghouls. And he doesn't do too badly. He's actually able to kill 5, I think, because he's got an extra attack. So yeah, that was pretty good. Then he attacks those ghouls over here against the Blood Reavers. He's able to kill them all without any problem at all. That was a mistake. My bad. So I attack with my Skull Reapers next. I'm able to put a single wound onto the Vampire Lord, and maybe 2 wounds actually, and 5 wounds onto the Ghoul King. I'm not quite able to kill it, which is very unfortunate. He's only got 1 wound left. Over here, he piles in against the Skull Reaper, is able to kill him, unfortunately, which was very, very sad. I did not enjoy that. But hey-ho. Then over here, I was planning on attacking the Vampire Lord with Chuckles, but because he's got a 2-inch range weapon, he kind of spins around the spot, takes a big swing at the Ghoul King, and takes his head off, which is fantastic. So his buffs were down now. He can't regenerate his wounds because he can do that. So that was ideal. Then we go to his turn, and some stuff happens. So his Vampire Lord, which obviously popped up last turn, pops up on that hill on the left-hand side, and the Vargulf the Vargulf hops over towards the Blood Warriors on the left-hand side as well. Meantime, he regenerates a couple of the ghouls in that unit that was on the right-hand side of ghouls. Other than that, he kind of just moves their stuff around a little bit. We go straight into the charge phase. His ghouls and Vampire and Ghoul King on Vampire Zombie Dragon even. I don't know if I can get that right. I slam into the Skull Reapers. And the ghouls over here hit the Bloodthirster. And that could be a bit tricky. So they attack first, actually, and they do 5 wounds on it, which is not bad at all. So then the Zombie Dragon, I attack with these guys. I kill 3 ghouls, but that's it. I rolled really badly. What can you say? It happens, doesn't it? So his Vampire Lord attacks next, does 4 wounds on Chuckles, which is good that he's not dead. I'll take that. And then he attacks with his Vampire Lord and is able to kill 4 Skull Reapers. That's all of them. They all go down. I think I'm only able to do I do 2 wounds back to it with the deadly to the last, so not killing it, unfortunately. It's a really, really tight roll. If I could have killed him with that, it would have been amazing. Unfortunately, it wasn't to be. So I attack with my Bloodthirster, who's able to hack 9 apart or something. Something good, but not enough. And then the ghouls pile in, attack Chuckles, and they kill him, which was really sad, and I cried. So we go into the initiative roll-off, and he wins it. Who could blame him? So he moves his ghouls on the left-hand side back to the objective, and his Vampire Dragon, Vargulf, and Vampire Lord hop forward to take on my General Valoroth and the 3 remaining Blood Warriors. One of whom is now a hero from Chuckles dying, the guy with the Gorglaive. So he charges in here. The Vampire Lord makes it into the Blood Warriors. The Zombie Dragon makes it into the now hero Gorglaive Champion. And the Vargulf makes it into Valoroth. So in the combat phase, he attacks with his ghouls first, I believe, but is able to not do a lot, I believe. He totally fluffs his rolls and, doesn't do anything, which is fantastic for me. So then he attacks with his Vampire Lord, kills a Blood Warrior, no big deal, puts a wound onto another, and does take a wound for his trouble, which was ideal. Then he attacks with his Vargulf, and puts 4 wounds onto Valoroth, not quite killing, which was perfect, because I did not want to be in that combat. I do attack with my Blood Warrior next, not able to do anything, which is fine. And he attacks with Zombie Dragon next, killing the unit champion, and then losing another wound back to that. We did regenerate one at the start of his turn, so yay. So he's still down to 12 wounds. This guy's taken so many wounds at this point. And Valoroth steps in and attacks, does 2 wounds to the Vargulf, not a big deal, not good enough. And then the Bloodthirster attacks, and he really turns it up to 11. He managed to murder 11, I think. 11. 11 or 12 die. And then when the Battle Shock test comes, the rest run away, which was perfect. So we go into my turn. And I do a couple of things I'm not proud of. I flee with Valoroth for a start, because I did not want to be in combat with that Vargulf. The Wrathmongers come forward towards the Zombie Dragon, because I needed to kill him now. And I whip the Bloodthirster, who does pass his mystical test again, which is unfortunate. So he moves sort of 5 inches away, I think about 8 inches away from the Crypt Ghoul. I was planning to whip him, hopefully drag him closer to me, and then get into combat with him. But I wanted to be as far towards the ghouls on the right-hand top corner in that forest as possible. So next turn, I'm able to get in there and kill them. That's kind of my plan, at least. So that goes. In the shooting phase, the Bloodthirster uses his whip, plinks 2 wounds off the the courtier, and drags him 5 inches towards me, putting him within 3 inches, which means I can attack him in combat, which is fantastic. I also slam in here with the Wrathmongers into the zombie dragon, and that should be good fun. And unsurprisingly, that is the one I choose to do first, and boom, they take him down, and there is no coming back this time, so that's perfect. Unfortunately, his vampire does then kill the Blood Warrior. Yeah, no big deal. But then the Bloodthirster, unsurprisingly, is able to kill that single courtier, which is fantastic. So, we go to the initiative roll-off, and I win it, which is perfect. I charged the Wrathmongers towards the ghouls, and I charged the Bloodthirster after being whipped towards the ghouls on the right-hand side. Other than that, I kind of just moved Valeroth and the Bloodsecrator kind of towards the objective to make sure that he couldn't kill, well, hopefully couldn't kill both of them. In the shooting phase, the Bloodthirster does kill 2 ghouls, and then he slams right into them. He's actually charging into deadly terrain here, so if I rolled a 1, he would have just died, and so that was a bit of a dicey roll. I do make it, however. And the Wrathmongers also make it in over here, so here is a possibility of winning the game. If these guys kill all these ghouls, and the Bloodthirster can somehow manage to wreck his way through that entire unit, I could win right here. I do go with my Bloodthirster first, and he does really well. He's able to hack apart another 12, maybe, ghouls. He does a massive amount of damage, which is perfect. Over here, the ghouls pile in and do kill 2 of the Wrathmongers, which is a bit scary, but fingers crossed it'll be okay. And when I attack back, they're able to murder 8 of them, so that's a really good start. So he's on a very shaky battle shock test there. Over here, as ghouls pile in, do 4 more wounds to the Bloodthirster, so he's going down fast. But then we go to the battle shock phase, and these ghouls completely flee. He rolls like a 5 or a 6, and they just peg it, leaving me in control of this objective, which was fantastic. Unfortunately, the other unit did not flee. Only one of them did, so there was 1 left on that objective, meaning I did not claim it. Boo! But hey-ho. And in his turn, he kind of moves his Vargulf towards the Bloodsecrator and the Vampire Dragon towards Valeroth. He does flee with the Crypt Ghouls because he didn't need them in combat with the Wrathmongers. Makes the charges, makes into here with Valeroth, into here with the Vargulf. He does attack with his Vampire Lord first and totally fluffs his attacks. He gets 1 wound through and I make my save, which is lovely. Unfortunately, the Bloodsecrator is not so lucky and dies. When I attack back, I'm able to put another wound onto the Vampire Lord, which is perfect. And there you have it. That's the end of the game. Because he had just managed to hold on to that objective on the left-hand top left-hand side corner, it's not a major victory. Because so I didn't win a major victory then, and at the end of the game, because he claims because we both sort of hold the one on the left-hand side, and I hold 2. Long story short, it's a minor victory for me because we've drawn objectives, and he holds more. Long story short, it's a minor victory for me because I killed more victory points of his. Only by the skin of my teeth, though. It was like 200 points in or something. But what a fantastic game. It was so close. Some really pivotal roles, but my Blood Warriors just did so amazingly, taking that Crypt Horror charge on the chin and just smashing them back in the face. It was fantastic. And how about the return of my Bloodthirster, Lord Tremendous? And you can only describe his actions this game as tremendous. Got caught on a mystical terrain, but then woke up, smashed into the front lines, and just tore people to shreds. It was glorious. The Vampire Dragon, a unit of 20 ghouls, and another unit of 20 ghouls, and a Crypt Horror Courtier. He did some serious work that game, and I'm so happy with him. He might be a staple for a while. Other than that, Blood Warriors did great. I'm surprised that Valeroth actually survived a game for once, my aspiring Deathbringer. He usually dies. And then the Skull Reapers all died, which is actually quite unusual for them. But they did pretty good. Well, I say that. They didn't actually do very good at all. For once, they're normally the one thing I can count on. But thank God, Lord Tremendous, the Bloodthirster, was there to take up the slack. So, thank you very much for listening and watching, I guess. If you've got any comments, please leave them below. Let me know what you think of the style of me talking over the army breakdown to kind of explain what it is I'm taking and why it is I'm taking, because that could be interesting as I start changing my list a bit more, which I'm starting to do a bit. So, yep, let me know, and I'll get back to you. So, thanks very much for watching. I'll see you again soon.